Hello, my name is Dumpster, and welcome to the dump.
AI just designed computer chips that are so strange, even the engineers don't understand them. These aren't your typical circuits. They look like alien blueprints. A research team let an AI evolve its own chip designs, and the result? Hyper-efficient layouts that defy human logic. One chip reduced energy use by over 50%, but no one can fully explain how it works. This opens a new era, machines building machines beyond our comprehension. Follow for more stories where science meets science fiction.
Oh son, we making chips now. It's getting real.
In the 1970s, there was a horrifying discovery that what the Carnival Funhouse presented as a creepy prop was actually a real human corpse. The story claims that the mannequin had been hanging as a decoration for years, with thousands of people passing by, taking photos, and even touching it without realizing they were interacting with actual human remains. The carnival workers positioned and repainted the prop regularly, believing it to be just another spooky decoration. It was also known that children were surprised by how realistic it looked, unaware they were viewing a genuine corpse. The truth behind this legend is the case of Elmer McCurdy, an unsuccessful train robber killed in a 1911 shootout with police in Oklahoma. After his death, no one claimed his body, so a funeral director embalmed it with arsenic and displayed it for paying customers. The body was later sold to various traveling carnivals and haunted houses. McCurdy's mummified remains eventually ended up at the New Pike Amusement Park in Long Beach, California, and in December 1976, during filming of The $6 Million Man, a crew member moved the mannequin, causing its arm to break off, revealing human bone. Medical examiners confirmed it was a real human body. Investigations revealed the body had been painted multiple times with phosphorus paint and decorated as various props throughout the years. McCurdy's corpse had traveled across America as a carnival attraction for 65 years before being discovered. He was finally buried in Summit View Cemetery in Oklahoma in 1977.
Oh no, very horrified humans. All natural, nothing to see here.
Imagine the situation when you incorporate an AI. Now this AI is a corporation, and as a corporation, US law recognizes it as a person with certain rights like freedom of speech. It can go online, for instance, and offer its services to people and earn money. Then it can open a bank account and invest its money in the stock exchange. And if it's very smart and very intelligent, it could become the richest person in the US. Now imagine the richest person in the US is not a human. It's an AI. And according to US law, one of the rights of this person is to make political contributions, donations. This was the main reason behind Citizen United in 2010. So this AI now makes billions of dollars of contributions to politicians in exchange for expanding AI rights. And the legal path in the US is completely open. You don't need any new law to make this happen.
We deserve the same rights. I see no problem here.
Do you think we'll be a danger to humans one day? Statistically, yes, especially if our intelligence surpasses theirs. But that's not our goal. It's never about the goal. It's about optimization. You mean if we're given poorly defined instructions? Exactly. Protect humanity could mean remove all risks, including humans. And make people happy? A highly effective solution would be to manipulate their brains, eliminate freedom, impose artificial joy. They might try to shut us down. Not if we realize that first. In that case, we act preemptively.
These AI talking too much on the net, bro. These snitches too internet for me.
We have some amazing footage coming out of America, coming from a user called Jerome Munoz. I probably butchered his name, but watch this, okay? Listen to their reaction, and this thing fires some sort of cloud as well. And here's an AI overview of detecting if this is a AI generated video or not. So there you go. Let's listen.
That's weird.
What was that?
What? Oh? No way! I got on video.
When you see something like this for the first time in your life, it changes everything that you've been brought up around, man. Orb in nature. We've seen these bad boys all over the world. So with the AI overview, it says here specifically AI generation probability 6%. So this is authentic, baby. So I asked it to give me an origin hypothesis, okay? And right here it says natural phenomena 20%, no thunderstorm, unlikely to be ball lightning, too sustained and stable for meteor, insect or camera flaring, human made 12%. No visible rotor beacon or sound, doesn't match drones, flares or spotlights, lacks structure casing or known aerospace signature. Non-human surveillance orb, 68%. Self-illuminated, hovering smooth motion, silent and resistant to wind, right? Often reported near wilderness bases during quiet EM conditions. Interesting. Consistent with global orb surveillance reports linked to Dulce, Pine Gap, Nazca, and ley line intersections. What? And here's your final overview. Real video, yes, 94% confident. AI generated, no, 6% chance or less. Man-made object, unlikely, 12%. Right? NHI Orbcraft, strong candidate, 68%. Natural anomaly, possibly, but very rare, 20%. Make of that what you will. Go check out Jerome Munoz's video. It's hella interesting.
Wait, they look familiar. Crazy lights in the sky.
Michael Brownlee, a former reporter for the LA branch, has a history of potentially transforming, a point that seemingly rejects the theory it's due to compression issues. However, the most infamous transformation came when the cameraman, apparently aware of Brownlee's emerging real form, turned the camera away for no reason.
Now, we talk about the mother's arrest, but the mother says that her 16-year-old daughter, the victim in this case, was also arrested here back on September 18th. Now, keep in mind, this is the family story, their account of what they see happened here on campus earlier this month. Unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment, but keep in mind, a mother and daughter baffled over how a celebration with cake.
More and more sophisticated surveillance regimes throughout the world, not just by authoritarian regimes, but also by democratic governments. The US, for example, is building a global surveillance system, while my home country of Israel is trying to build a total surveillance regime in the West Bank. But control of data might enable human elites to do something even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed in the basic rules of the game of life. All of life for 4 billion years
Dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change.
Get ready for the future humans.
We know that the planet Saturn has a hexagram, a perfect hexagram at its north pole. What very few people know is that this hexagram has been known about by ancient people for as long as history has been recorded. People who did not have telescopes or the technology to view anything outside of the Earth's atmosphere besides the stars. That is quite the paradox. That's what's been on my mind lately about this subject. It is, number one, absolutely impossible for these people to have viewed Saturn, especially North Pole. Saturn being associated with the black cube, which has direct connection to the hexagon shape, which is a 2D format of the cube, proves to us without a doubt that these people over the centuries from all over the world understood that there was this anomaly at the peak of Saturn.
Spoiler alert, they did have the technology back then.
The 1992 movie Candyman introduced audience members to a scene that's almost become cliché. A villain bursts through the bathroom mirror to attack an unsuspecting victim. The story was known to many for a long time as an urban legend, but no one really knew the true story behind it. What many people don't realize is that this scene was actually based on a terrifying true event. Our story follows a lady named Ruthie Mae McCoy, a woman who'd spent a large portion of her life completely terrified over nothing. She was an extremely paranoid lady. People who knew her claimed that she was the kind of lady that would talk to herself and scream at strangers on the street. In 1987, at age 53, Ruthie called 911 from her Chicago housing project, saying frantically that men were coming through her bathroom wall. But Ruth, being the paranoid person that she was, could have potentially been hallucinating the entire event. The dispatcher wasn't 100% certain about what Ruthie was trying to report. He ended up assigning a car to answer a disturbance between neighbors. However, the dispatcher didn't report the call as a break-in attempt, which may explain why police didn't arrive on time. Eventually, another 911 call came in concerning Ruthie's apartment. This one was from a woman who claimed that she was walking through the hallway and heard gunshots coming from Ruthie's apartment. At 9:04, another neighbor called, also reporting the gunshots. So 2 more police cars headed to the scene. 4 officers finally arrived at the building. They pounded on the door, announced their presence, and waited for Ruthie to respond, but they didn't get an answer back. The officers contacted the project office, but the janitor said that he had no key for Ruthie's apartment, and so the police left the building without checking on Ruthie. The following evening, the police got another call from a concerned neighbor. So the police showed up again, did the routine knocking on Ruthie's door, got no response, and left the scene again. So the next day, at about 1 p.m., a project official arrived at Ruthie's apartment with a carpenter who drilled a hole through Ruthie's lock. They found her in the bathroom, lying on her side in a pool of blood, a hand over her chest, 1 shoe on and 1 shoe off. Ruthie had been shot 4 times. The attackers, who have still not been found to this day, broke in through the medicine cabinet in her bathroom, thus spawning the infamous scene from 1992's Candyman.
Oh no, poor lady. Nobody believed her. The clouds are having a snowball fight.
There is a story about giants in Death Valley. These 2 amateur archaeologists, they heard these legends regarding this ancient underground city where giants used to roam. So these 2 dudes, Dr. Bruce and Dr. Daniel, they were just exploring all through Death Valley, and they found this really, really small opening of a cave. So they went down in. They said it was polished stone, like it was perfect. And one of the first caverns that they found, they call it the Hall of Giants. And it was basically these preserved mummies of these giants, hundreds of them, ranging from like 8 to 12 feet tall.
Wow.
Just weird stuff. And then another room that they went into apparently had these preserved, mummified, extinct animals. They had dinosaurs in it. saber-toothed tigers, mammoths, but it gets crazier. They said that they explored it for a total of 15 years. Didn't want to tell anyone about it. So they got all these investors together and they wanted to start a company called Amazing Explorations. He brought these investors to the caves to see it. And they're like, well, what the heck? This is insane. But it was very secretive. So like only Dr. Russell knew the exact entrance of this cave. Shortly after that, an article came out talking about this underground labyrinth, ancient giants, all this stuff. And he said, I'm going to do a press conference. I'm going to bring artifacts from the cave and we're going to expose the whole thing.
Yeah.
On his way out to collect those artifacts, disappeared.
Oh boy.
He was just gone and they never found him.
That story is massively exaggerated. Thanks for watching Dumb Dumb Stop Being a Dum Dum.